All right, just in time. Dog the Beaks had a little barking fit there for a second. Wanted to get her calmed down. Neighbors were pulling into their driveway, and evidently she didn't like all that, so had to give it a couple seconds for the beagle to calm down just a second, or we would have just heard nothing but barking. Anyway, good Sunday morning to everybody. Hope everybody is doing well. Get connected to the comment section. So if there's anybody out there that can hear or see me, or is listening and can hear and see me, okay, if you could hit the like button, I'd appreciate it, so I don't have to keep doing that all morning. Billy Lee, good morning to you. How are you? I'm just getting connected to the comment section here, and which for whatever reason it doesn't want to do. I'll just have to refresh my screen here real quick and get out of there and see what we got going on. No, it's not wanting to let me do it, but I promise, I swear, we'll be here pretty good. Jay Justice, what's up? Rick Stumble, what's going on with you? Yeah, I'm just getting reconnected to the thing. I don't know why it doesn't want to let me in there today, into the comment section. There we go. There we go. Getting there. Getting there. Rusty, what's going on, buddy? Good to see you. GH, what's going on? Lake Hickory guy, what's going on, buddy? Good to see you. There we go. All right, we're all set up. So what we're going to make today is we're going to make Hawaiian tea bread, which I have not had in forever. And this will be what we'll be using today. We'll be using the Lodge skull pan, and I'm going to attempt to kind of dress this thing up just a little bit, but and then we'll go from there. But I'm sort of in the middle of still prepping, so that's a good thing, actually. Yeah, I gotta mash some bananas, and then we're gonna get right into it. There we go. So I'm gonna take this bad boy, and I'm gonna throw that into the oven. I've got that going at 350, and let that heat up, and then I'm gonna bring a bowl over it. We're gonna mash some bananas. So there we go. I see you kids. Hey, what's up, buddy? How are you? Yeah, I kind of had you guys in the background this morning. I wasn't able to really watch what you guys are doing, but I heard you guys were using that as well. So we're gonna I need a half a cup of bananas for this. So let's see if we can't get a half a cup of bananas here. I didn't have time to mash these up, but I figured that we could do that while we're on here anyway. So there we go. Let me get rid of that. I'm not sure how many bananas. I'm not sure how many bananas is a half cup, to be honest. Like half cup butter is, one stick or whatever, but the conversion on an actual banana, I have no idea. Let's see. Oh yeah, we got all kinds of folks rolling in today. Where's everybody from today? Get that part. That always intrigues me, where everybody's from. And I don't need your home address, just maybe like a state or whatever. And I'll swing this over for Rusty, because Rusty, we were talking about tomahawk steaks this morning, and I was talking about the collection that the dog has of tomahawk steak bones, and for whatever reason, I don't know if she heard that, but she's brought all of her bunch of her steak bones. I think she unburied them from wherever they were in the house. And if you can see right next to her, there's 2 tomahawk steak bones. Billy Lee, you're from Virginia. Virginia, I had no idea. But yeah, she has 2 tomahawk steak bones over there. And we were talking about the tomahawk steak bones this morning. Western North Carolina, checking in. A lot of folks on the right side of the country. Yeah, but she's, I don't know I actually don't know how many of these that she has, but those steak bones she has, but she's got a bunch, because every time I do a tomahawk steak, she gets the she gets the bone, which keeps her. And then a lot of times if I did more than one, I would throw them in the freezer, and all that. And then when she was like had to go, like if I had to go, when she doesn't use her pen very much anymore. But like if she had to be in her pen, then I'd break out those steak bones and I'd let her kind of give her something to do while she was being locked down. Somewhere in the mountains of Washington State. Yeah, that's very cool. Rick, play black for 22 for me. Okay. Yeah, Rick, you're in Vegas today. Very cool. Have you ever seen? There is a guy that I follow on YouTube who is just and this is for Rick, who is an amazing busker. And if you guys don't know what a busker is a guy or a gal that, or even like a trio or something. And they just sort of set up anywhere and they play music. And there's a busker out there and he's in Vegas, called Johnny Hazard. And I watched Johnny Hazard on there. I can't stop watching him when I'm in there. But if you ever get a chance, Rick, have you ever seen Johnny Hazard play any place? Because if you have, that's like totally intriguing to me. So that's about all we needed for that. So we'll get our half a cup into there. See if we got a half a cup. I would imagine for a half a cup that maybe one banana might have done it, but we're gonna, it's kind of like the owl. How many licks to take to the center, get to the center of a Tootsie Pop. Figuring that out right now. Because it's only 4 ounces is what we need. And I think that I'm gonna have an extra. I think that might be about, there's 4 ounces. So maybe like a banana and a half is what we needed. Yeah, Johnny, I saw him on Fairmont Street once. Yeah, he's amazing. The guy is amazing. He's a one-man band, and he like samples his own stuff, and he does mashups. Like he'll start out with one song and go, like it's just hard to say. Like he'll start out with a Chris Stapleton song that's kind of in the same genre of what he does, and then he'll take that Chris Stapleton song and go into Guns N' Roses, or I mean about anything really. I mean he takes requests. Like he'll take your requests right off of YouTube. I wonder if we have enough to make 2. Might have enough to do 2. But that's 4 ounces. That's a half a cup right there. But yeah, Johnny Hazard's awesome, man. I really like him. So let me just take the rest of this. We'll spoon this up and I'll save this for a smoothie or something else later on. Or maybe a nice, because today is going to be Tiki Day at my house, in a sense. And I will be making tiki drinks later on this afternoon. So maybe that banana will come in handy then. There we go. Alright, cool. There we go. Alright. So we got that part done. So we're into the mixing part. Set this off into the refrigerator. There we go. Get that into there. So we've got those things going, and we've got, so here's our, he does play Pink Floyd, Billy Lee. Yeah. After the stream's over, definitely check out Johnny Hazard. He'll play anything. It's the craziest thing. Yeah, please hit the like button. And if you're out there in the stratosphere, hit the subscribe. It does a lot of stuff for me. So let's see what we got. Here's the recipe down here at the bottom in my very, very old church cookbook. And I use this. This is one of my more used pages. Boy, it's got all stained up. But let's see. So we're going to do 2 cups of flour, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, a half teaspoon of baking soda, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, half a cup or 1 stick of butter, 1 cup of sugar, 2 eggs, half cup of mashed bananas, half a cup of pineapple. It says 4 ounces, but it's half a cup, and a half a cup of shredded coconut, which we have the coconut and the pineapple already together to save space. So there we go. So now what we got to do is start putting this all together. Let's see, we've got somebody else. Esther, how are you? Good to see you this morning. Let's see, so we'll just move this back over here. And hopefully I can just reuse this bowl, which I think I can. And we'll do our dry ingredients first. I'll probably end up needing that spoon eventually. Yeah, we got all kinds of folks in here this morning. Checking out the tea bread. Yeah, and this is Hawaiian tea bread for those of you who are just getting in. And we're gonna start out with our dry stuff first. And I'm gonna also add just a smidge of nutmeg to this. It wasn't in the recipe, but I'm gonna add just a little bit of ginger, and I'm gonna add just a little bit of nutmeg to this, and a little bit, no surprise here, of black pepper. So I'm gonna pull those out and get those ready to go, so I don't forget to do that. So we'll start out with our 2 cups of flour, and we'll get all of our dry stuff in there first. Move this spoon out of the way. There we go. Flatten that down, and then we'll add our baking powder, salt, and baking soda. I'm gonna add a little bit of, I'm just gonna sprinkle it over there. I don't know how much that is, but I'm just gonna make it enough to where I can see it into the flour. There's our nutmeg. Because those two make it, as far as I'm concerned. There we go. Just get those moved around in there a little bit. Don't need that paprika. Move that out of the way. There we go. See what's going on in the comment section. Not much. It's Sunday morning, everybody's still trying to get up. Wake up. I actually could use a little coffee myself, which I'm gonna do. I should do that real fast while we're waiting. But eventually, I'll have tea at some point. So, let's get a cup of coffee going here on the side. There we go. There we go. All right. Coffee makes everything better. Yeah, butter and coffee. I know when I was the curry boy, I had curry powder. I don't think I have curry powder, actually. I don't think I do. In my menagerie of spices and herbs, I do not think I have curry powder up here. So then we're gonna do a cup of sugar. Slurping on my muddy water. Yeah, exactly. Well, welcome to Curry Boy for showing up today. Let's see, and I love these using. That's why I always do my stuff in mason jar. A lot of my stuff in mason jars, because the cups are already, the measurements are on the side. There we go. And you can go ahead and add all that in. Get that. Okay. Add that into there. Throw our butter into here. And you can cream your butter if you want to. I just didn't want to make another bowl. Cream it with the sugar. But I didn't feel like doing that, so I didn't. That going in there. And I'll let this little mixture do its deal before I start working in the eggs. Let that cool down a little bit. You don't want to add the eggs to the hot with warm butter. Okay, and we'll put our mashed bananas in here. Those in there. That off to the side. Them working in. There we go. Let's see, curry powders versus, yeah. Okay, versus coriander. Oh, that's the mix for it, okay. Gotcha, roger that. Thank you very much. Because I have everything everything there to do it. I just don't make a lot of curry dishes, to be honest. But that's cool. I'll pin that and save that recipe for the curry. I'll mix up some curry powder. Actually, this week is going to be, for me, with everything coming in out of the garden, this is about the time where I start making my own spices. So that kind of comes in at a good time, actually, to know how to do that. I'll make up some curry powder because I have all that stuff. I let my yeah, I have everything up here to do that. But I'm not gonna add that to this. That's not gonna happen. And sometimes people like to toast coconut before they do put them into these recipes. That is not one of my like all-time favorite things to do. I'm not big on it, to be honest. And this is one of these recipes. I can't remember what those pan loaves are called. Try butter chicken. How's the watermelons looking? I do not have watermelons. I had watermelons. My watermelons were gone. The sugar babies, they were sugar babies, and they came in about a month ago, and I only got 3. They were pretty good, and they came out all right, but they just they just didn't get that big, and they sort of stayed the same size. When we had that weather, when we had the real hot July, it was really unseasonably hot, and it was hot for a long time. I mean, even at night, for us to be at like 78, 80 degrees at nighttime is really, really unusual. Really unusual. So the watermelons didn't have that kind of moisture, kind of humid July that we normally have with a lot of rain and that kind of stuff. And honestly, I mean, I went on a walk with the dog last night, and everybody, unless you have a yard service here, and even I saw a guy who had a yard service, they were out there putting sprinklers out, and everybody's yards are dead. So everybody's yards are dead because it just hasn't rained. It's supposed to rain here at some point today, which I think that would be the first time in. Let's see, toasted cinnamon is better too. Let's see oils come out. Yeah, what I was going to say, sorry I got sidetracked on the weather, but when I've always found that like doing the toasted coconut, when it bakes, then it almost, if it doesn't come out perfect, then the toasted coconut actually starts tasting like, on the edges will taste like burnt coconut, and it doesn't, like when I make the Tom Cruise cake this Christmas, the Tom Cruise coconut white chocolate cake, I'm not going to toast the coconut like I've done in past years because it just makes everything taste burnt when I do it. Very humid here. Yeah, it's humid here today, which I think that's why we are, that's why I'm thinking there's actually going to be some rain, because it hasn't been humid. It's been, the humidity here has been like 35%. It's been really dry. But in the yards, my yard's dead, except for where my watermelons are and where they've grown into the yard. They are, or the pumpkins, where the pumpkins are, and the watermelons, I guess, but where they are, that's where the only grass left in my yard. And we have rabbit grass. You guys don't know what rabbit call something. Maybe you guys call rabbit grass something else. But rabbit grass is like the stalk things. They almost look like wheat, and very edible. And they taste really good. I actually go out and get rabbit grass and throw it into my salads. But that's what's growing here. That's what I got to go out when I mow today. I'm basically hitting the spots like in the front of the house where the rabbit grass is. That's all I'm doing is knocking down rabbit grass. And I'm just kind of spot mowing today and trimming, which basically the trimming is rabbit grass as well. No real stuff, but man, I'll tell you what is coming in good. My cherry tomatoes are going insane right now. Now I've had to water them, keep watering them every single day, sometimes twice. But the I'm telling you what, the tomatoes are coming in like gangbusters. I might have to start giving them away on the here on the live. Mercy B, what's going on? Ijma, what's going on? I hope I'm pronouncing your name right, which I'm probably not. White Mountain Girl, good morning. How are you? Hello from California. Well, hello from Ohio. Yeah, good. Nice to see you. But yeah, so we'll be able to pour this stuff in here. Now, the normal time, if you were going to loaf this, it says anywhere from 45 to 50 minutes at 350. But since we're doing it in the skull pan this morning, I'm not sure how that's going to go. Zoe, good morning. How are you? Good to see you. It's football day for most folks. And plus I'm trying to keep it easy today because baseball playoffs start today for me at 1 o'clock, maybe 2. I haven't checked the time. But the Reds just beat the Cubs 3 out of 4 games so far, and one game back in the wild card. So I've been glued to the radio for the past week, and we'll be glued there today, which is one of the reasons we're going to be doing Tiki Day, because I'm going to be out on the patio all day long. Let's see, let's get our pan out, get some gloves on, and get this pan greased up. Let's see, get that lined up here in the shot. I'll move this back out of the way for just a second while we do that. The hot pan out. And I've even got a little coconut tea that I'm going to have for our tea bread. Oh yeah. Let's see. Irishima. Is it Irish Surma? Am I saying that even closely correctly? Probably not. I'm terrible with names, pronouncing names. And there we go on that. There we go. Very cool. Let's see here. Yeah, just check. Sorry, go Chiefs today. Chiefs fan. Zoe's a Chiefs fan. She's pulling for the Chiefs today. And let me see if we might have enough butter that I can just butter this, but I doubt it. We might have to heat up just a little bit more butter into there. There we go. And my butter knife right here. Just a little butter into that. I thought that butter would be a little more. There we go. So I'm just my college team won yesterday. It's a good day today. Who's your college team, Billy Lee? Volunteer? Are you volunteers kind of gal? Being in Virginia? Is that Virginia? Or is that Tennessee? I can't remember. Cold funnel thing. Hello, raw meat eater. There's somebody in here raw. Oh, Florida State Seminoles. Oh, okay. There you go. I grew up a Notre Dame fan, so, and I'm in the state of Ohio State, which is like everywhere. You can't go anywhere without going to Ohio State something here. I've never figured that one out, but that's just the way it is. And I wanted to try something here with this thick batter, and I wanted to see if I could drop a couple of dang cherries on top of those eyeballs and get that to stay, and we'd actually have totems today. Oh, that butter smells good. I don't like the smell of melted butter hitting cast iron. That's like its own thing. It should be a candle. If there's any candle makers out there, make a candle that smells like hot butter hitting cast iron, because that is a smell, man. I love that smell. Let's see, hopefully I got all the nooks and crannies and crevices. I'm even going to throw a little bit here on the top just to make it interesting in case I missed anything. Because one thing, if you guys watch this enough, you know I don't give a damn about making a mess. Messy kitchen's a happy kitchen. Okay, so there we go. So there's that. Now let me get these cherries. I heard scratches on my right door. I thought it might be Mercy. But it was my behavior referring to. You can't tell the difference between Mercy B and the dog? That's funny. Let's see. Oh yeah, here's my... I wanted to keep these cold. I wanted to put these in here. We're going to throw the batter in to these. And then I've got some Bing cherries here. Previously frozen, but I use those a lot for smoothies, so you'll have to work with me on that one. And we'll see how much of this batter. Get a spoon. We'll do this, spoon this in. Yeah, that is wrong. Mercy B, that is wrong. That's wrong. That is 100%. So we'll spoon the batter in to there. I don't know how many of these is going to fill either. Because it basically, if I make something of a similar recipe, if I use my, like my wedge pans or whatever, it's basically the wedge pan. I might have to pull a little bit of that stuff out, but we'll see what happens. Oh, there's a piece. Ooh, didn't want to go in. There we go. The batter's good. Set that off to the side. There we go. That might be a little much for in there. Dig some of that out. Put it into this one. There we go. Flatten those down just a smidge. I'll get it right. Working on my second cup of coffee. Right? I still haven't even had a sip of mine yet. I need to have a little bit. I need to have a little bit of that muddy water myself. Let's see. There we go. Got a little bit left. We don't have enough to do another crevice, so I'm just going to pack in as much into these as I possibly can. Which isn't going to be a whole heck of a lot. There's not a lot left over to that. So we got what? 4 mini loaves. 4 mini loaves. I also wanted to put some pineapple at the bottom of that, sort of like a what do you call it, like a upside down cake, but I didn't know how that would all work out. So for testing a recipe, that'll be something I play with when I'm not in front of thousands of people. There we go. Scoop that over into there, that into there, and that little bit. Don't worry, my counters are clean. There we go. Wipe those edges off. Wipe that stuff off there. And there we go. We'll worry about that momentarily. And then we're going to try and line these up. Let's see, I'll use get out a toothpick here. Oh man. Just spilled my coffee. Oh well. Hold on. Move my coffee out of the way. I just spilled it. There we go. Get a couple toothpicks, but the show must go on. I can always get more coffee too. That sucked. This man's about to have a very messy oven. We'll see. We'll see what happens. What's the worst thing can happen? It's almost time. It's almost that time of the year. I got to put these. I got to clean the oven anyway. See if we can't fit those down there. These might be. But I wanted to try it. Poke those down into there. These into here, roughly. Poke that down. Kind of like tiki totem poles. There we go. All the way. These are really shallow, by the way. If you don't have one of these in your kitchen, these little pans are pretty shallow. It doesn't take too far to get down into there. There we go. Push that thing down into there. And try and find another little one. It's actually round. There we go. Down into there. Ye of little faith. Down into the bottom. There we go. And we'll just spatula that down over top of that just a little bit. Kind of pat that down into there. And there we go. Close enough. Close enough for construction. All right. There we go. Alien faces. Yeah. The alien faces would be... I'm hoping that when I flip it over that you can see that on the bottom. Hope, hope. But yeah, should be able to. Get rid of this and pop these bad boys in there. Looking pretty cool. Thank you very much. We're working our way through 2 gallons of boiled cowboy coffee. Yeah, that sounds good. I haven't had cowboy coffee in a long time. Since the last time I went camping, which has been about 2 years ago. Okay. So these are ready now to go in to the oven. And I'm going to get myself another cup of coffee. Right now. Okay, so we're going to set the oven for middle rack for 25-30 minutes. Let's see. Timer 30. We'll go 30 minutes. Okay, so we're on to that part. What else we got in here? Supposed to put water in the empty spots. Supposed to put water in the empty spots. Hey Rick. Oh, maybe somebody else. Maybe something in the comment section that I've missed out on, which is probably a lot, actually. All right. So in the background, let me wipe this spot up real quick. Like and subscribe if you're in the house. There you go. There you go. Like you're thinking, GH. And we're going to pour another cup of coffee. And put our toothpicks back out of the way. There we go. All right. Make myself some room for the next part of this. The next part, which I didn't put up there because I didn't know if I was going to actually do it or not. So, but since we have 30 minutes and I don't have anything other planned for this, I figure we just go ahead while I make Hawaiian chicken and we'll just do that. Bronx River Project in the building birthplace of hip hop. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Gotcha. All right. So we got that. And for my next big trick, I'm gonna move my teapot out of the way. So we'll keep that on the back burner. and we'll break out. Start over here. Okay, so let me move my bowls. Sorry, we're working in a tight spot. Just give me 1 second, and I'm gonna grab another cup of coffee and go from there. There we go. Love that lid. Yeah, that's a Wagner lid. That's one of the, I believe that particular one is an unmarked Wagner lid that I picked up at a garage sale for the amazing price of $2. There we go. So there we are with that. So the next thing we're going to do is we are going to do Hawaiian chicken. And that's just for the sake of saying we're doing it. Let's see here. I need my bowl. My second bowl. Over here. Oh. There we go. There we go. Okay. They didn't know what they had. Love that lid. Yeah, they didn't know exactly. Can we get a spin? Can we get a spin? I don't know where she's at, to be honest. I don't know where the beagle is. Now that I say her name, she'll come running though, hopefully. But, yeah, they do. And the same thing with my number 6. My number 6, I got a number 6 marked Wagner lid that I got for like a couple bucks at a garage sale. Ugh. All right, here we go. Okay, so for my next trick, we're gonna do some Hawaiian chicken to go along with that. Our tea bread, which should take just about, not much longer than the bread, actually. Can we get a spin? Beagle, your fans await. Beagle is, as I just checked the front part of the house, there's something, and I think my neighbor, who we always say is generally working about this time of day for whatever reason, he starts working on stuff around the house at 11 a.m. almost on the dot every Sunday. There might be, I would assume that he probably has 3 or 4 leaves on his lawn that have to be completely eradicated, and quite possibly a blade of grass that has caught his attention. So salt, pepper. There we go. On both sides. There we go. And garlic powder. Garlic powder. Both sides. There we go. And there we go. All right. So we got that done. Garlic powder onto there. We're going to move everybody over to this way. I feel the pain. I need a square Griswold for the cost of one. Good. Like one of the little utility pans with the lids. There's another one that Griswold makes, and I can't think of what it is, but it's square and it goes for like it was going for like $300 or $400, if not more than that. And that was a few years ago when I saw one at an auction. And it wasn't the I don't think it was a utility. I don't think it was a utility pan. There we go. some butter down in here, and we'll get these going. We're just gonna kind of brown these up, and then we'll make a sauce to kind of go along with these. I want the fat in there though, for the dog. So for everybody saying, oh, you should have trimmed the fat off, I want the fat to cook because I'm gonna give them to the dog. Yeah. It's the square pan with the corner handle, yeah. See, I see that sometimes on eBay, and I don't see them being like that insanely expensive for the utility pan. But maybe we're talking about, there's a big one. There's like a medium-sized one that goes for quite a bit. Maybe 8 inches across. Yeah, utility pans. Find one with a lid. There's with the glass lid that goes to it. There's where the money comes in. Okay, so let's make our sauce for this. Yeah. So it's probably cold. Right now, the girl where you are, it's probably getting cold already, isn't it? Which is kind of unfortunate. I can't imagine it being cold already in September. But it is unusually hot here for this time of year. So we're gonna get a little pineapple juice that I'm just gonna use right out of the pineapple. And I don't need much, about a quarter cup. About a quarter cup of the pineapple juice. The chicken smells good. A quarter cup of pineapple juice. There we go. Now if you have a little splash of orange juice, I do not have orange juice this morning. So I'm not going to be doing that. So then we're going to use a combination. Let me get my quarter cup out here. We're going to use, this is going to be a quarter cup of soy sauce, which is the last of my soy sauce, thankfully. That means I need to go get more. And then I'm going to throw in about a quarter cup of teriyaki sauce. It's kind of like that 3-2-1 sauce, but it's all like quarter cups. And then a quarter cup, or really, an eighth of a cup. What am I saying? Fourth of a cup, eighth of a cup. My bad. Of teriyaki sauce. And a little bit, about the same of Worcestershire sauce. There we go. There's that. Driving the mountains is good. Yeah. It's 67 here in California. I don't know what the temperature is right now. I'll look on my handy dandy Cooper temperature gauge. My Cooper says in my kitchen right now it is exactly 80 degrees, if you can see that. It's exactly 80 degrees in here. Because after the 1st of September I have a rule. It's kind of like the rule with the heat. Heat doesn't come on until December 1st, and it goes off on St. Patrick's Day. And the air doesn't go on after the 1st of September. Kind of the house rules. So we'll put this in here. So we got that into that. And then we're going to throw a little bit of honey into this. A little bit of honey in there. He comes on when I feel cold. Yeah, I don't blame you. I don't blame you there. I do not blame you. And then we're also going to throw in just a little bit of brown sugar into this. Just a pinch. There we go. We're going to throw a little bit more of our garlic into that. A little more garlic powder onto the top. Now I'm not measuring this up. I just go by, when I add the garlic powder, I just go by putting it all over the top. That could be 60. You wouldn't have to be turning the heat on around here. There was a couple nights where it started to get sort of cooler like it's supposed to, and then it just sort of stopped. And then ground ginger the same way. Just enough to cover the top. And we'll mix that up. And we'll give that a good mix. That's right, turn my chicken over. See how that's looking. There we go. Check out the chicken. There's the chicken. There you go. Back to the sauce. And we're not going to put this on for a little while onto that until we put it in together. See, stir that up right quick. I guess it doesn't matter. Because one thing one thing I learned going out to all the bee farms all the time is that honey actually loses its medicinal property as soon as you put it anywhere near anything metallic. Like if you put it into, that's why they have the honey dippers, because if you use a spoon, it loses a good portion of its medicinal value, and it reacts with the honey. That's why everybody uses like even into a metal, like that's enamelware. I don't know if that would make any difference, but like that's why you use it in a coffee cup or anything like that. But it doesn't matter because we're going to put it into a cast iron pan anyway. So get all that in there. Give this a smell. Oh yeah, it smells really good. That smells really good. And I'm also going to add in, what do I got? I got three chicken thighs. Let's see. I'm a winter baby. I prefer the cold. I'm lucky. We have where I'm at here by the Great Lakes. We get everything. And we get it for like almost even amounts of about, 3 to 4 months. So we'll throw our pineapples in there because we're going to put those on the top when we put the sauce on. There we go. It drops below 97, you crank up the heat. My grandmother was like that. My grandma, and she was like that my entire life. And my grandmother wasn't, when I was a little kid, was not that old. And they put that on older people, and that's not always the case. My grandmother, I can remember in the summertime, and she had a fireplace in her house. And I can remember on Sunday night, we'd watch Lawrence Welk at 6 o'clock, and my grandmother would start a fire. Have my grandpa start a fire. I don't know how he lived like that. I don't know how he did it. It was hot in there and that was the thing. We used to I loved my grandparents so much and loved hanging out with them. But my sister and I, growing up, we could not be in that. I mean, it was like torture to have to stay the week with my grandparents. Because you literally would have to be like, spend it. If you were there in August, you were like, spent your night like against the window trying to just get some kind of cool air. I remember my grandparents had a porch off of they had like a veranda on their second floor, and their bedroom was on the second floor, and I would sneak through their bedroom and take a pillow and go out and sleep on their veranda outside. Sneak through their bedroom to go on and get on the veranda so I could get out of that heat. It was horrible. It was terrible. Absolutely terrible. Okay, flip the chicken over another time. Part brown. This part brown. There we go. Oh yeah, chicken's looking good. Smells great too. I've done a lot of years ago there. I like cold. Yeah, you were Jay Justice was a sled dog. What do they call a sled dog captain? The guy who's on the sled. Not to sound ignorant, but I really don't know what it's called. I never thought about it before. The musher? Are you the musher? Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, you said that right as I said that. And I was just kind of grasping at straws too. It's not like I really. Yeah, I had to just kind of pop into my head. Yeah, that's crazy cold. For everybody who was in here on Thursday, my friend John the Ice Road Trucker, that's the name he actually goes by on social media. He goes up there, he's getting ready to leave and sometime here in the next couple weeks to go back to Alaska and be ice road truck. I guess that's what you call it. Truck out there in that stuff. That's a different kind of human to me. I couldn't do it. I don't mind winter here. I really don't mind my winters. I just don't like it to be like so cold that your teeth, if you walk outside, your teeth will break, and that kind of thing. I like snowman style winter. You know, got the humidity, and I'm not a skier. We have a ski resort not far from here, but I've never made it past the ski lodge. Usually I just drink it. I just having drinks at the ski lodge. I'm not a skier. So yeah, I don't ski, but I like snowmobiling. Snowmobiling's pretty rad. Donata Jackson, please don't spam on the channel in the comment section. Good morning. I hope everything works out, but please don't spam on my channel. Let's see, but I mushed dogs in the lower 48. I was up north mostly working. Oh, I got Roger that. Yeah, and whatever that is that Donna Jackson's putting on there, don't go to that for any reason, guys. I don't know what that is, so don't go to it. Don't do anything like it. I don't know if it's already passed on my computer, so I can't get it off of there. But do not do that. And I appreciate you showing up and coming in there, and I hope things work out for whoever you're looking to help out. But spamming in my channel is not going to wash. So whatever you do, don't go to that, and all that. Please don't. And Ming's watching today, so if it pops back up, my little watchdog on here, that'll be reported. So please don't do it. Enough of that. But anyway, coffee's good. I'm ready for some of this coconut tea that I'm gonna have with my cake. Let me check on that cake. Oh yeah, we're doing all right. It's doing all right. See how that does though. Son lives in Medina, Ohio. My roommate was from Medina, Ohio. One of my best friends of all time was from Medina. We used to go up there and we used to go to a place called the Village Inn. We used to call it the VI. And raise all kinds of hell in that place. All kinds of hell. Yeah, she's watching, and now she's working a second job, so she won't be on here for very long, but she got a job, and and then she got a second job. So she's a pretty busy gal today. These days, she's got a full-time job in the evenings, and then she does a second job on the weekends, and then she's doing real estate. I believe it's real estate school or real estate law. The Minster is going to be a house flipper, evidently. That's what she wants to do, which is all right with me. She wants to flip houses. She can do that. And I think she's nailed down a sort of like an internship for the realty thing. So that's pretty rad. All right. So here's our chicken. There's the chicken. There we go. There's how the chicken's looking. I'll move you guys over that way. So, trying to knock the camera over. There we go. We got the chicken ready. Okay. And we're going to pull that off of there. I just wanted it browned. Pull that off. Put that down into there. There we go. We're going to pour our sauce into there without trying to shock the pan too much. Oh man, that smells good. Could have used the orange juice though. That would have been a little better. So there we go for that. Yeah, she's one of those kids that she's just like, my other daughter and I were talking about her recent thing, you know, her recent endeavors, and we were just like, she's just that person that always finds, you know, the thing, it just always works out for her, like just always does. So we'll put a lid on that. We've got about, let's see, maybe we'll put a couple cherries in that too. We'll kind of make it sort of an ongoing deal. We flip houses. I need to be flipping cast iron. Yeah, now that I've got my garage is coming along pretty well the last 2 weeks, and I've been able to get the E-tank back in running order. Got it going for this time of year, and so I'll be flipping a lot of cast iron here directly. And speaking of that, I don't know if you put it into the comment section. I'm gonna throw just a little bit more ginger on top of this, but sprinkle a little ginger on there. There we go. But if you saw the video that I did the other day, the short video of the E-tank with the Don Ho music, the idea that I originally did that. I was working on it like 1 o'clock in the morning or whatever, putting that together. And originally I put it up and I thought the song was on it. The song wasn't on it. The song wasn't anywhere near it. It was just me complaining about having so much cast iron to do, and somebody waiting on the piece that was in there. So it got like, and it sucks because that video took off, and it had like it was like up to 1,000 views in like 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and then I had to take it down because it was a bunch of me dropping some F-bombs, and anyway, so the music wasn't on for the first like 1,100 views. So yeah, you saw that, Rick. So then when I got up the next morning, when I got up in the morning, a few hours later, I went and I actually I went to check to make sure the video had uploaded. I got an email that said that it uploaded, or a message, and anyway. So I watched it and it came up and I'm like, that's not the video I put up. I had to go back and like re-edit and put that one back up there. Put this in there. Okay, that's into the oven. There we go. And I would say we're just about right on time with the other things. This is going to be like 2 or 3 minutes for the, and we'll check the video, or we'll check the cake. But in the meantime, we'll do a little Beagle scam. She's due. Come on, Beagle. You want a treat? Beagle, you out there? You want some liver? She's literally laying with her head on the pillow, looking like I'm just forcing her to. I'm forcing her into some like. Here's the Beagles. Here's her favorite treats right there, the liver treats. You ready? Can I get a spin? No? How about a sit? How about we start with sit since you were sleeping? There you go. And she's always out of the shot. Yeah, that video was fun. It was funny, man. It was hilarious when I looked at that, and it's just like me, and I had one guy's piece in there, and I was doing a camp lid, and this guy was all over me to get this thing done, and I was actually done with it a week before. I told him I would be done with it, and he had just called me, and I was talking to another buddy of mine off to the side, and I'm like, man, this guy's driving me nuts with this thing. Can you spin? There we go. Here, let's move you back just a little bit. You're too far. You're in the comment section. There you go. Come here. Over here. Come here. You can do it. Come here. Come on. Give me a spin. Well, speaking. How about speak? Okay. We'll do speak. She's leery. She doesn't like being on the uneven thing. Here, come over here. Speak. 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 There you go. That's a good one. Let's see. One more. We'll do one more. And then our stuff should be about ready. Ready? Speak one. Yep, there you go. You know the drill. She hasn't had coffee yet. Yeah, no kidding. I'm about ready to start dosing her with methylene blue in the morning. Give her a dose when I get my dose. Like here, 20 shots, 20 drops for Dad, and 5 shots for you. See how that goes. Okay. All right, move on. You're done. All done. All done. There we go. She's like, yeah. She's like, use me and toss me away. She said, yeah, it's slippery. It's slippery right there. It probably is. And it'd be less slippery. It'd probably be a lot less slippery if she'd actually let me clip all of her toenails at one time. All those paw claws at one time instead of 3. There we go. Let's wipe my spot down as we go. Put this over there. Use our toothpick. I'm going to give it the toothpick test. Let's see what we're getting into. Well, not quite yet. That one. Let me try a different toothpick. That was the one I used for the cherries. Let's see. Yeah, she is a smart little dog. She's real smart. She knows, when I take her to the obstacle course, she does really good at the obstacle course. She's got it figured out. I don't know. Let's try this part up here. I don't know, that's pretty clean. I'll give it another, like literally 1 minute to kind of hang out in there. And we'll go from there. Let's see. Cute dog, Beags merch. Yeah. One of these days we will have some Beags merch. We'll have to have a thing of what size to make them in. Because I don't think they're gonna, I think it'll be a small crowd that actually wants the Beags merch. But we'll do a like a, you can email me sizes and I'll have them done like that. Once I get the idea to do them, because I've got a lot of like labels and stuff to do, and I got to do that stuff, so I'm trying to get it all together so I'm not like taking individual stuff. Because my fall scents are going to change this fall for the beard company stuff, for the Seven Shamrocks beard company. I've got fall scents coming out, so I've got a lot of different ones coming out. So we'll go and do all those things. True Choice Frenchie proof. Yeah, I need this. I can't believe these bones have lasted. But what did I did something to them. No, I didn't. Other than freeze them. I froze them first, and then that was it. I froze the tomahawk steak bones. Maybe you should finish your coffee while you're waiting. Maybe. I think we're about done though, honestly. Iracema. Is that? Maybe that's it. Iracema? Am I getting that right? It's a pretty name. So there we go. There we go. I think we might be on to something with these. And then I'm going to throw my timer up, or my temp up, on the chicken to 400. And we should be good up on there. There we go. And you should finish your coffee while you're waiting. Yeah. These look pretty cool. I mean, just on this side, they look pretty cool. And I've never tried this. I've never tried the tea bread into this pan. I've always just done it in a loaf pan. These smell fantastic. And I'm trying to think. Let me see what the. I gotta look this up. Normally this recipe is for what they call a what is it called? A Valtropia pan, or the bread tubes. That's what this recipe is kind of designed to. So if you went to Trader Vic's and got the tea bread, then they would have it in those loaf pans where they basically stuff the batter inside of the tubes, and then they bake it in that and they take them out. It's like it's almost like they usually come in like hearts or stars. Yeah, alien tea bread, exactly. I'm gonna let this sit and cool for just a second, but I am gonna get my one thing out, because that's where I've messed up on this when I do these things sometimes, is trying to pull them a little bit early. And I'm actually gonna take the fan to see how they're. Oh no, these would be ready. These will pull. But sometimes I do, when I get onto this, when I do the live streams, for the sake of time, sometimes I'll flip stuff out of there too early, and that has cost me in the past. Those seem to be coming out though, all right. So we'll get our tray down. Just making sure really it's really around the eyes. I'm hoping that came out. Boy, it smells good. You can really smell the coconut in here. Just smell it. I don't even know. It's like banana bread, but like jazzed up. You can smell the pineapple and all that stuff in there. It smells really good. Yeah, I think these actually can be flipped, and we'll be able to do that. Let's see, timer on the chicken. We might not get to the chicken, because the chicken was just sort of a bonus. Okay. Ronald Coward, there you are. Good to see you. Thank you so much for the lid. Thank you so much for the lid. I would show it to everybody if you haven't already seen it in the comment or the community posts, but it is already in the lye tank. Getting lye tanked, as they say. It's getting tanked. But it is already in there. And you guys, I'm telling you, that thing is enormous. The number 12 Lodge cast iron lid is enormous. I know when I go into the zombie apocalypse, if I need a shield, that's what I'm going to take. Because that thing is huge. And it's so cool. The cool thing about it, I mean, I've never completed an entire, thank you, White Mountain Girl. I hope they taste good. But I have never, in all the pieces of cast iron I have, which I don't know how many pieces of cast iron I have, even remotely, but to finish a set, thank you, I know it's hard to pronounce. Did I get it right? I don't see if... But I get that on the name. My actual name has 26. My whole name has like more letters than the alphabet. So I understand it, having names that are either big or hard to pronounce. I get that 100%. Let's see here. Let's see if these will just dump. There we go. Yeah. Did have a little extra. Okay, so no, it didn't. They did not make it to the top. But they still look cool. That did not make it. I have to push them through farther. Unless it moved, that could have done it. That could have happened too. But like I said, I was just trying it out. But let's get a good look at those. Yeah, but they look cool. They call you Hurricane in the kitchen. Yeah. I always worked in kitchens and stuff like when I was a kid, like through high school. And I had a really good, I had a guy that I worked for. He was kind of like the head cook and I was like his assistant cook or whatever. And he cleaned as he went. And he was really big on it. And so I've always done that. And it kind of, like I said, I'm trying not to not make a huge mess. These are still pretty hot, but if you guys can see those, they came out really good. And the teeth came out on a lot of these, which that doesn't happen a lot of times. But if you can see in there, these are they're pretty hot, but they the teeth even came out. I'm surprised that the cherries didn't stop, because I pushed those all the way to the bottom. And you can see how it kind of poked through on that one. But overall, I mean, it came out, I think they came out pretty cool. I could have not filled them, if you see the ends of the bottom part, I could have not filled them so much, but I didn't know. I didn't know how they would do in this pan. So, and that's why we have the pan out for right now, for, you know, early into the holiday season, because I'm just playing with it right now and making sure, kind of getting the kinks worked out. They look delicious. Thank you. Put the cherries. See, that's the thing. When you here, I'll show you what the thing with that, and this is what I was worried about. And the next, what I've actually thought about doing, was taking like some pineapple and laying like right in there, or even like a layer of like crushed pineapple and putting into there, because these lay on an angle. So that's why I couldn't just set the cherries in there. But I thought if I put some pineapple or something in between that, then the cherries would have stayed there. But see, like, if you guys ever remember the one video where I did the heart pan with the upside down cake in the heart pan, I think it was a short or video, one or the other. But I put those in there, and then all the pineapple moved, and I had those spaced in there just right too. So that'll be something I have to play with to get it right. But overall, I mean, I'm pretty happy with how that came out. But yeah, it's just on a slope because it's rounded. And if I get I'll show you guys the other side. This is one thing I guess you can't always see is, well, I don't want to do that, because let me wipe that out first and then do it. Because if not, if I pick it up, if I show you the other side, if I pull that up out of there, then all the butter on the cavities I didn't use are going to come out. It's going to pour all over the floor. I'm not trying to pour hot oil onto the floor. But they came out really clean. I mean, I'm really happy with how... I love this pan. I really do. But I'll show you the other side of the pan. Because the other side of the pan is actually pretty rad too. I like hanging it up. But if you can see the other side of the pan, how those are rounded on there. It looks a lot flatter there, but once you flip it over, it's really rounded up. But I think that other side is really cool in its own way. Kind of you could do an alien with that on the other side. All right, but anyway. Maybe a toothpick, that's what I kind of thought. Yeah, that's what I was kind of trying to do. And then I thought once I got them all the way down there, then I thought it would stay. Yeah, these are really good. I mean, I've had this recipe before. I've just never made it in this pan. That's the big issue. But here, pretty quick, I'm gonna pour myself a cup of tea and make a cup of tea, and then we'll have that. Plus, I'm letting them cool just a smidge. They're still like blasting hot, to be honest. But that would have been kind of cool if they would have, like, the cherry juice would have leaked out like onto the rest of it. That would have been pretty dope. I think that would have been pretty cool. But yeah. Surprisingly, I don't see the coconut in there. Normally when I use coconut in there, it tends to fall a little bit. And I was hoping that you'd be a little more fuzzy, but it's not. But it is on the top. If you can see on the top, the coconut sticking out of there. But the bottom, it didn't make it down to the bottom. Which, I did it in flour, so that probably, when you wrap stuff in flour, when you do it, put it in there like that, it'll suspend it so it doesn't all drop. So that might be a lot of it too. But yeah, those are pretty cool. I'm pretty stoked about that. So I'll let my tea boil. My tea going. Finish off this cup of coffee, and then I'll put the coconut tea in there with that, and we'll have that. We'll be all set. There we go. Yeah, so far so good. We'll just hope now that the chicken comes out. If we have time for all that. I don't know. But like I said, now I need that pan. Yeah, I highly suggest, and I bet you, if you went to Lodge right now, that's where you get them, Lodge Cast Iron. If you went there, they're probably on sale. I would imagine. But for whatever reason, and I'll say this, and I don't know how many weeks I've been saying this, that I can't get to the Lodge site. Like, I wanted to order one of those gnome pans, and I could not get to the Lodge site to do that. It came out okay. And with coffee, who would notice the imperfections? Right. Absolutely. And even with a little bit of like maybe a little icing or cream cheese, or like a cream cheese frosting, that'd be pretty cool. Or maybe like, pipe them on there somehow. I don't know. Maybe I'm just digging at this point, but with that coffee or the tea water kicks on here pretty quick. I'm ready for some tea. Finish this coffee out. And I am going to give a check on the chicken. See how the chicken's looking. Check the chicken. That's actually looking fairly done as well. We might have to be able to eat this, kind of do the dessert and opposite, and then pull that chicken out and have a piece of chicken. Because that's looking really pretty too. I'll take the lid off that when it's got about 5 minutes left. There we go. Now the tea's starting to boil. Make myself a little spot here. Rinse my cup out. Cracker Barrel may have the same pans. Yeah, they do. I bet they do have them right now. I want to say that I've actually seen him there before, but I might be making that up in my head as well. So I'm not 100% sure on that one. But I want to say that I've actually seen him there before. So throw some tea in there. But yeah, you're right. My Cracker Barrel doesn't have a lot of, the ones here don't, they have, the only time I've ever gotten like the yearly one that they used to put out, I've only actually got it once when I was here, and that was last year. Thanks, Michael. Thanks for popping in this morning. Thanks for subscribing. I really appreciate that. Yeah, we got some more stuff coming here pretty quick. I'm just getting my tea going so I can actually have tea and tea bread. Mercy B, you're out of here? Okay. See you, Mercy. But yeah, so we'll have that, and then we'll get the chicken out here pretty quick. Oh, there we go. Got the tea with our toasted coconut tea. So this should all go together fairly well. There we go. There we go. Just jumped on, with no problem, and yes, a lot of sales going. Yeah, I like I said, I don't know what it is. I haven't tried to go through my computer or anything to it, but when I go, which I should probably do that, but for whatever reason, I can go to every other site on the planet, but I cannot go to Lodge. And I'm subscribed, Lodge, I'm on their email list on 2 separate emails. And I really wanted that gnome pan that was just out. And I think I can get it off another one, but I don't like to use, like everybody else. I mean, I don't know about everybody, but when it comes to certain sites, I mean, I just don't like dropping my, even if I'm using PayPal to do it, I just don't like using weird sites that I'm not used to going to. Let that sit there for a second. But yeah, I mean, that's just one of those things where I really wanted that gnome skillet, and they're already on eBay for $100, and people are buying them. People are already buying them at $100, but I found them on a site, and they were like $34. Yeah, I want the gnome pan too. I mean, that's actually kind of up my, I'm not big. I've got if I showed you guys all the collector skillets that I have from Lodge, you'd just be like, it's just ridiculous. I probably have 20 collector skillets, if not more than that. I mean, I'm sitting here looking at my cast iron, my thing here. I'll pop around so we got something different to look at, but I'll just pop around to my actual user. This is just my users over here, and if I can pan out on that enough, but I mean, I don't know, there's what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and that's just the ones you can see on the user thing. That's just my user rack for the ones that are up there. So you got like, there's six right there that are the Lodge collector pans. So yeah, I don't know if I need any more than that. But it'd have to be pretty special for me to actually want to get it. So yeah, and I don't know how many pans are up on that thing. It doesn't look like a lot until you start counting. Okay, tea's done. Tea's done, so we'll dress that up a little bit. But yeah, I don't know. And the whole bottom of that rack was that's all Lodge collector pans. That's just down there. So a little bit of honey in there. Drop just a smidge of honey into that, and put some milk. Thank you very much. Yeah, that's just the ones you can go and grab. There's a few other racks around the house that have the stuff that you don't want, somebody just coming out in the morning and making breakfast with, but Yeah, that's the idea. Have a little tea bread with some tea, and that'll give the chicken time to go. Because once I get that down to about 5 minutes, then we're gonna pull that. And then it's gonna be baseball time. A little butter on here. Let's butter some bread. Let's get this tea bread going. We'll just let's take this one here in the front. Put some butter in the eyeballs. There we go. And I don't skimp on butter. And like I say all the time, 9 out of 10 cardiologists will recommend that you don't eat or make anything that I make on this channel. It is definitely probably not good for your health. Well, let's pop one of these open. That's pretty much ready to deal with. Oh, look at that. Got the steam in there. Perfectly done. 30 minutes. That was 30 minutes on those for the loaf pan, for the mini loaves. Dip that off. Man. That's really good. I think a little bit more sugar. A little bit more sugar would have done it, but, or maybe if you put an icing on it. But I mean, overall, it's really good. Oh yeah, that's awesome. Michael, that's your collection? You have about 4 Griswolds and the others are Lodge? Yeah, I don't have a huge amount of Griswold. Yeah, get the cast ironitis. Yeah, mostly what I have is Pick with Favorite, Wagner, and then I just have like a bunch of just ones like a couple Martin Stove and Range. I have some BSRs in there. I have some Victors in there. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff where I just find it and I'm like, oh, okay, well, that's a good hookup. You know what I mean? I'm trying to think if there's anything, Good Health was, Griswold, but, a lot of Wapak. I have some Le Creuset. I have some like the Dutch oven. One of my fluted cake pans. That's from France. I got that, or I got it from Germany. And but yeah, and there's some Le Creuset. I don't know how many bundt pans I have. I'm looking at least 3 bundt pans, and I think I have another one somewhere the old 50s Lodge bundt pan, and then one of the new Lodge bundt pans, and then I have the one I got from Germany, which was probably I can't remember. It starts with a C, but it's probably that is what it probably is more. And trying to think if I have any other bundt pans. I have a couple aluminum ones, but I don't really. That's pretty tasty. But yeah, I just kind of collect as I like things that I've wanted or things that I have a handful of ceramic Lodge stuff, but not a lot of cast iron. Yeah, I gotcha. Yeah, I have some of those. I have some of the enamel Dutch ovens and stuff like that. I got a few of those, and they come in handy. I always tell people, if you're starting out, get enamel. Make sure you have at least one enamel piece to do stuff in. The coconut tea is really good with that. See if we can't find a piece that has that cherry in there. Boy, it's still steaming. Can you guys see that? Yeah, those are really good. I actually think that I could have put more pineapple in it. I think more pineapple would have been good. But, you know, is what it is. Let's check I'm going to check out the chicken real quick. Check this chicken. As I fog my glasses up. There we go. I'm going to take that, take the temperature of this. That's where we're at right there. We're also going to take, though, I'm going to take the lid off of that and let it brown without that for 5 minutes. And then we'll go, let's get a temp on that. This thing, this dial one is so slow. But I should be to temperature on that. Yeah, 170. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good onto that. Let's go up here to this piece and not go through it. 170 for that one. They're about the same size, so I'm thinking right here on the bone. 170. Yeah, so we'll go 5 minutes with that without the lid. And we'll do some of these. We'll eat one of these. And that should be ready to rock. And like I said, that's not, you know, we're just kind of throwing that together. Check, check, check. Yeah, exactly. Oh my God. Cynthia, good morning. How are you? We've got Hawaiian tea bread with a skull pan. And Cynthia, I think you have one of these, at least one of those. And then we have Hawaiian chicken going on in the oven for about another, let's go 5 minutes on that chicken. 5 minutes on the chicken. What time we got? What's the normal time? We're right about our time. Yeah, Ronald got it. Yeah. See, yeah. So you're in the center south, Cynthia. So yeah, you're probably about 10:30 or 10:30 or something like that. Maybe later. So yeah, it is about your time of day. Man, these are good. These are definitely good. I think they could have used a little more pineapple in them. If to do it over, I would do a little bit more. Man, that's awesome. I am in Ohio, Michael. No spam wasabi? No. We did the spam on here that time, and that scared me. And like I said, spam's not bad, but I just don't, man. I don't ever since we've had it that one time back in the winter, I don't wake up and go, man, I'd really like to have some spam. Can't say that it sounds all that great. Oh, you're in North Carolina. Very cool. We've had a few people in from North Carolina this morning. North and South Carolina, for sure. I'm going to get a piece with that cherry in there. And another sip of that tea. Yeah, cherry's in there. The cherry's good. I could have actually pulled off putting more of those in there. That tea is awesome. Toasted coconut tea. Man, that's where it's at. Here in a minute, I'm Mount Airy, north of Andy Griffin. Oh, okay. Maybe just north of Mayberry. Very cool. So we'll be able to plate up that chicken here in just a minute. Actually, I think I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and pull it. I'm going to throw the broiler on it. Put everything off and then broiler on high for 1 minute and kind of char that top. There we go. Do it for 1 minute and char the top of that, and then we're going to be good. Anything coconut. Yeah, I love coconut. It's like my coconut coconut. I mean, anything like that, anything islandy is not far from Keysville. Very cool. Oh, we got people in here, practically neighbors. Let's see. I'm gonna move this out the way. Move that out of the way. Move this out of the way and get myself a little plate for the chicken. And then we'll call it a done deal, I think. Call it a done deal. That chicken a day in court. Move that off to the side so I have another, so I can use this for that. Oh, my pan. That pan's actually cool, so. So we'll get that stuff going, and I'll get a fork. Get myself a fork for that, and we're good to go. Oh man, that smells great. That is smelling good. There we go. Get you guys a good look at that. Hawaiian chicken. Hell yeah, that's looking great. And that sauce, the reason I took it off for 5 minutes, took the lid off for 5 minutes, is to let that sauce sort of thicken up a little bit, because we're gonna put that on top of here. That onto the plate. And then we'll get a spoon and ladle that up. Yeah, that's looking really, really good. I'll take that. I will definitely take that. Oh, I don't need that timer anymore. Let me kind of work around the camera just a little bit. There we go. And we'll plate that up. Spoon a little bit of that onto there. Just a smidge of that sauce. The sauce is definitely worth getting. There we go. And voila. I will take that all day long. I want to. One piss me off. Right? I get you. Usagi, spam fried and teriyaki. Yeah. I've seen it. If you've seen, there's those one guys that go around, they're English guys, and they go around and they have, they try American food, and they went to, they went out there to, what's his name? Jason Momoa? Am I saying that right? And, they went and had spam, they went to a spam restaurant in Hawaii, and they did the musabi, the spam musabi. Now they, I don't know how really good that would be, but they were making it out like it was the greatest thing ever. So, but they've also went to food trucks in Detroit and said that was pretty good. So, I don't know. I've been to a couple food trucks in Detroit, seen Tigers games. And I've had an okay one. I stick to the Mexican food ones, but man, you get outside of the box with that, too much of that. Or they have a cheesesteak one that's actually really good, but some of it's pretty sketchy. Let's give this a try. Even though we haven't let it rest, but whatever. Oh man, that's good. That is so good. That's really, really, really good. I'd take that. I can hear the Don Ho playing in the background. Wow. Gas station. I don't know what that is. Cerveci. Ready for the quarterback. Oh, quarterback drama. Gotcha, Cynthia. Yeah, let's try one more piece of that and we're going to get out of here. And I'm going to sit and eat my lunch and get ready for baseball. Baseball's starting here in about 25 minutes. Man has to have his priorities. We'll give it one more try. I'm going to try it with that cherry too. Try it with the cherry. Back on there. Back on there, you. Yeah, another time. Try it with all the flavor. Man, that's good. That is really, really good. Do you do any cast iron cooking on open fire? Yeah, I do actually. Yeah, I have a spot out back. But yeah, I've never done anything. For the Thursday night shows, it gets dark here so early that I've never tried to how do I want to say it? I've never tried to do any out here, the backyard cooking on Thursdays, because it gets dark. And then there's like lighting issues and all that kind of stuff, so it doesn't really work out that great. That's why I never do outdoor cooking on Thursdays. Maybe you can add some white rice. Yeah. Yes, white rice would definitely be good. I was just kind of doing this to kind of do it. And but yeah, white rice. And when we did back a few months ago, we actually did Hawaiian stir fry over white rice. So that's one, Ishmael. I'm sorry, I can't do your name. I just can't do it. But yeah, there's one on there, if you go back a little ways, where we did Hawaiian chicken stir fry, and I did that over white rice, and that was fantastic. There's another good recipe to check out. That's really good. All right, so we're gonna get out of here. We're gonna do a little beak cam first. I'm looking for a small cauldron to make chicken stew. Yeah, that sounds good, man. Just get yourself on, if you can see it over here, these things here, on the very bottom, next to the smithy, those are the 2-quart Lodge Dutch ovens. Yeah, you can, those would work really good if you're looking for something about that size. If you're doing something about that size. Oh yeah, Beeks. Your fans await. Here, you can have a little bit of this banana bread. I'm not going to break out your treats. You want some of that? Oh yeah. Somebody's licking their lips. We'll get a couple spins. We'll let everybody go finish out the rest of their day. And there we go. Here we go. Can you spin? There you go. Circus dog. Circus dog time. But yeah, thanks everybody. Michael Rawlings, thanks for showing up. Ronald Coward, thanks for showing up. Greg Hart, thanks for showing up. Billy Lee Lawton, thank you so much for showing up. Can I get another spin? Are you done with the spinning? Come on, you're being lazy today. Cynthia Wesley, Rick Stumbaugh, thank you guys so much for coming in. Had a lot of people in here. Aramisha, thank you so much for coming in and sticking around for the entire cook today. That's very cool. I really appreciate it. Everybody could hit the like button on your way out. Jay Justice, thanks so much for stopping by. Appreciate it. And Mercy B, thank you so much for stopping by. Yeah. Thank you once again for inviting us in your kitchen. Man, it wouldn't be, it's fun to have you guys here. It's fun to always have you guys here hanging out in the kitchen on Sunday mornings. That's Sunday mornings are I really dig that. Hope you guys all have a good day. Be blessed. You too. You as well. Have a great day. It's going to be a great day everywhere. It's all in your head. If you want to have a great day, you're going to have a great day. That's for sure. But anyway, thanks for you guys for showing up and hanging out. I appreciate it. You guys make it. Check everything out Thursday night, 8 o'clock. There'll be some other videos coming out hopefully this week as well. And I'll see you Thursday in the comment section. All right. See you.